Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is BBB Haunted Comics, and you made it to the Haunted Basement Studio, where we're going to continuation our review of Vampirella from the archives, from the Warren Publishing from the 1970s, dude. We did issue number 1 last week, and now let's jump into issue number 2, because I believe Vampirella is going to be down to earth. And right at the very beginning, we get our first and only appearance of Draculina. She says, blondes like me, Draculina, are supposed to have all the fun, but my brunette twin sister, Vampirella, with her IQ of 2000, dropped out how a crash rocket worked and zoomed off in it for an adventure to its home planet. Imagine that. Right? Sister is now down to earth. And now Vampirella is walking the streets and she says, now that I'm here on earth, I need to find a way to make me some blood money. As she looks up at this poster and it says Monsterilla, she says, well, that is interesting, as this dude hands her a flyer and says, hey, I bet you can win a contest without even trying. She says, contest, huh? And as she looks at the magazine, it says Monsterilla. And now as she looks at the flyer, it says, if you qualify, go to Hollywood, call this office number. And as she calls the number, she tries to hypnotize the guy that handed her the magazine, but it doesn't seem to work. But anyway, she takes off and she makes it to the office building, where she knocks on the elevator. All she sees is an elevator shaft. And she's like, well, nobody's really around. And as she opens up her bat wings and she flies up the shaft, and as she's knocking on the door on the other side of the elevator shaft on the top floor, the waitress is like, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm actually hearing somebody knock. I must be going nuts. And as Vampirella looks down, the elevator is coming up and it's going to smash into her. And as she starts knocking louder and louder, the waitress comes and opens up the door, and Vampirella walks out into the room and says, hello, I have come for the Monsterilla contest. And then she tells her, if you just join the other applicants, and Vampirella thinks to herself, wow, these Earth girls are pretty earthy. And then you see the other contestants, some of them dress really seductive. One's dressed like freaking Medusa, another one's got some crazy freaking mask on. Vampirella thinks she's got this in the bag. And now as the two judges get ready for the auditions, they say, go ahead and bring the girls in. And then all of a sudden, when they see Vampirella, they're like, oh my God, she's beautiful, incredibly realistic. Man, dig those fangs and wings. I can't believe them. And then Vampirella says, will I do for a Monsterilla? And they're like, yeah, you definitely can. What's your name? And she starts to say, Vampirella. And they're like, really? That's no good. It doesn't relate. You got like an aura, like Bambi aura. And she's like, wait a second, I don't know about that. And then the other judge says that maybe we can make an Aurora doll out of her. And they're like, oh yeah, a Monsterilla doll. Yeah, I'm glad I thought of that. And Bambi's like, ouch. They're like, what's the matter? You don't like the idea of Bambi doll? She says, no, I just broke a fingernail. They'll say, oh, okay. And you win. Fangs down. Here's your ticket to Hollywood and happy flying. And then Vampirella gets on the airplane and they're like, fasten your seatbelts tight. And then all of a sudden, disaster strikes. And then you see a headline here saying the magazine contest winner, Bambi Aurora, to have starred in a horror picture, met a horrible death. Several bodies were found to be with no blood. And then you got Vampirella saying, don't you believe it? Vampirella lives. The plain truth is Vampy didn't lose her wings nor her appetite. With all those crimson corpses, it was sheer smorgasbord. End of issue number 2. Now let's talk about it. Wow, man, that thing was so much fun. Issue number 2 rocked it out. She's up here on Earth. She needs to find money. She's going to enter a contest of monsters. And of course, she's going to win it because she's Vampirella. Sexy flying fangs with bat wings. You know it. And they're so damn realistic because it is real. And so she ends it up, probably got pretty thirsty on that airplane and ended up sucking the blood out of a few people. And that's wild, dude. It's like crazy because Vampirella right now is a vampire and she needs her blood. So I wonder if she's ever going to get some serum where she realizes that these human people are good people and we don't want to kill them all. Maybe only the bad ones. But man, that was Vampirella issue number 2 from the Warren Publishing right there. We're doing it off the archives from Dynamite. So I'm going to check it out, see if there's an issue number 3, because I know that there are going to be some issues where she's not in it, but I'm going to go through this whole book and whatever stories we find of Vampirella from her early years. This is 1 through 7 right here. Man, I'm going to be telling them all to you. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. And if you like the video, like it as well. All right, man. I want you guys to remember one thing. I'm live every Wednesday night with New Comic Book Day. I go through all the hottest covers, all the babes covered in blood, and we can talk about them live here in the Haunted Basement Studio, only on Triple B Haunted Comics. And that's it. Triple B's out. You guys have a great rest of your day, and laters.